basically what a Master Club is we start at 7 o'clock on Wednesday nights, and we have a book time that the kids work through. They work through a book where they memorize verses, and they do different sort of projects and research missionaries and those types of things. And then we have a Bible time where there's a Bible lesson, the gospel is being taught every week, and then they have a game time to sort of let them get their energy out while they've been sitting for a little while. So that's what our Master Club is. It's a great ministry. God's allowed me to be in here. I think this is now my 8th year doing it, 7th or 8th year. I don't remember exactly. It's however long Faith and I have been married, so I guess 7 years is how long we've done it. So yeah, I definitely remember that. So 7 years, God's blessed us with this ministry. I'll talk more about Master Club later on toward the end, but I want to go ahead and get started. If you would, we're going to do our opening assembly. If you would, please join us. So the first thing that we do on our opening assembly, we have them all stand up. Usually they're standing, so everybody stand up for me, guys. I'll stand over here. All right, usually I call them to attention, so you guys get it attention. We're going to say our club verse. You guys ready? Matthew 23:10, for one is your master, even Christ. Matthew 23:10. All right, and I've asked a couple of our Master Club guys to come on up and help me with the pledges. So Emily, Ben, Samuel, come on up. Every week we do our pledges. We do our pledges to the American flag, we do our pledges to the Christian flag, and we do a pledge to the Bible. So Emily, if you'll stand over here. Ben, if you'll just pull it out toward the corner there. Perfect. Just hold on to the ground. There. All right, first of all, we'll pledge allegiance to the American flag. So we'll pledge allegiance to the American flag. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now to the Christian flag. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the Christian flag and to the Savior for whose kingdom it stands, one Savior, crucified, risen, and coming again, with life and liberty to all who believe. And now to the Bible. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the Bible, God's holy word. I will make it a lamp to my feet, a light to my path, and I will hide its words in my heart that I might not sin against God. All right, very good, guys. You guys can have a seat. You can leave that right there. All right, very good. You all can be seated. Thank you. Before I call up our first group, which is our little lambs, those are our 4-year-old, 5-year-old guys. Before I call them up, there are a couple of certificates that some of our kids are going to get tonight, and I'll take this time to kind of explain what they are. There are 2 perfect attendance awards certificates that we'll be giving out. One is for perfect Sunday school attendance through the whole year of Master Club. What we've tried to do is we've tried to incorporate sort of an incentive to get them to come not only on Wednesday nights, but to come to Sunday school as well. And several of our guys have had perfect Sunday school attendance, and I think that's a total of 28 Sundays. 28 Sundays since we started back in September up until just last week. So 28 Sunday schools that they've been to, perfect Sunday school attendance. There's also a faithful Sunday school attendance where those met 70% of Sunday schools since September the 10th. We also have a perfect Master Club award, and they haven't missed any Master Clubs throughout the entire year, and that's 27 Wednesdays that we've met. They have perfect Master Club attendance. And then we also have a faithful Master Club attendance, which it too is 70% of the Wednesdays that we've had throughout the year. And so it's a really great thing that we get a chance to honor these guys for their faithfulness and to get to help encourage them on what it means to come to church, not only just come to church, but to love God, serve God, and be examples for them. So those are kind of the certificates that they'll be getting tonight, as well as some individual class awards that the teachers themselves will be explaining as they hand them out, okay? So at this time, I would like to call up Miss Sarah and Miss Stephanie and their group, so come on up. This is our Little Lambs group. Like I said, they're our 4- and 5-year-old guys, and Miss Stephanie and Miss Sarah do this class. And I'll turn it over to them. Microphone, Brother Randy. Okay.
Okay, this is the 3, 4, and 5-year-olds, and it's been a joy to teach them this year. This year we did the New Testament, and we did all our stories, and our verses were from the New Testament. And so we're going to sing a song for you that we learned this year that went along with one of the stories that we taught. Fishers of men, fishers of men, fishers of men. I will make you fishers of men if you follow me. If you follow me. If you follow me. I will make you fishers of men if you follow me. Ready? Hear Christ calling, come unto me, come unto me, come unto me. Hear Christ calling, come unto me. I will give you rest. I will give you rest. I will give you rest. Hear Christ calling, come unto me. I will give you rest.
It's always a blessing to be able to teach these children and see them. Many of them start with us when they turn 3 years old. We had a couple that came in partway through the year when they turned 3, but a lot of them start with us when they're 3 and continue through kindergarten. So we get to know them pretty well and see them grow and learn. And some of them, they might come to us not really being able to even say a verse with us. And it's neat to see how they grow and develop and learn and all the things that they do learn. It's a blessing to see how they learn about God. Some of them learn at home, but some of them don't. And so it's a blessing for some of these children to be the ones that introduce them to God in a lot of ways. And so anyway, as Stephanie mentioned, this was our book this year, and we had a lot of the kids, most of the kids that came faithfully did learn all the verses, and we had some other little things that we did in the book. Brother Wayne came in and visited our class, and they learned about our pastor, and that's always exciting to see them be able to meet him if they haven't already, and to learn what a pastor is and what he does and how much he loves them. And so it's always an exciting year, and it's always a blessing. We have a lot of these children who are finishing kindergarten this year, and they'll move on up, and so we're excited to see and meet some new little ones this next year. So we have some certificates to give them. These are the children who completed the book. They learned all their verses, which means most of them came just about every week, and if they didn't come, then they were able to learn any verses that they were missing. And so these children are Marta Juan and Omar Pascual, Talia Diego, Peyton Kreider, Whitley Stansel, Sawyer Staley, and then we had 2 others who aren't here tonight, but they were here just about every week and learned their verses, Tanley Harris and Ronaldo Pascual. And then the ones who are receiving a certificate for faithful Sunday school attendance are Sawyer Staley, and then Tanley Harris, but she's not with us tonight, and then Peyton Kreider. Then we had, as I mentioned, several who came just about every week, and they are receiving the Faithful Master Club Attendance Award. And these are Talia Diego, Whitley Stansel, then again Ronaldo Pascual and Tanley Harris, Sawyer Staley, Peyton Kreider. And then, as I mentioned, we had a couple who joined us partway through the year, and then one who has just visited a few times, and we hope he'll come back. Daniel, these receive a participation award. Daniel Johnson and Daly Gibson, and then Pascual Juan. And I think that's all we have.
it is exciting to see kids start this age. I can look out across the group here, and I can see a couple of faces that started when they were 3, 4 years old in our little lambs, and now they're, 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade. So it's exciting to see them be able to develop as young people. All right, they're going to go ahead and head back to their class. They like it better that way back there, and we will too. And so the next group that I want to call up is our first grade group. And this is Miss Natalie and Miss Bonnie. It feels funny calling my mother by her first name. But yeah, this is Miss Natalie and Miss Bonnie. And they do our first grade class. And I'm going to turn it over to them, and they've got plenty of awards to hand out. And so...
I had a very large group this year. I went from about 5 last year to running about 15. It was quite a change, and I was very thankful for my assistant. She was awesome. I would not have gotten anything done without her. We had some who came pretty faithful. I'm going to do the Sunday school first. Daniela Gonzalez did not miss one Sunday school. And the faithful Sunday school is Jaden, Landon, Naomi, and then the perfect Masters Club attendance is Jaden. She didn't miss one Wednesday night. Even if she came in a few minutes late, we knew she would always show up. And Faithful Masters Club goes to Naomi and Lala, Daniela, and Landon. And then I have a award for participation for Anna Marie. She got a couple badges, but I'm not sure if she got attendance stars. So Anna Marie gets a participation, and then the award, the plaques. We have, I think they memorize about 20 verses, and they do. We have a Good Shepherd badge, a Preacher's Pal. They wrote a note to the preacher. A Bible Institute. They do. I think we did Creation this year. A missionary badge and Above and Beyond, where they had to do things for other people. And so the ones who completed theirs, we had 6 that got all theirs done. Yeah. The first one is Lala. Lala worked really hard and caught herself up and finished her book. And the second one is Landon. They worked really hard. I'm very proud of them. The next one is Jaden. And Hudson. Hudson missed quite a few Wednesdays, but he caught himself up and finished all of his badges. He even missed game time a couple weeks to get caught up. CJ Stepp. And Daniela. Got it? And we had some that didn't quite get all theirs done, but I think they just liked one badge from getting their books done, and that is Naomi, Leanna Stansel, and Anna Marie. I'm very proud of them, and I'm going to miss them next year. They've already said they're going to sneak out of their classroom to come back, so we'll see how that works.
We have this, we tried something a little different this year. We want our kids to understand what it means to give and to tithe. And so we have what we call Master Club dues, where they can bring $1. And in years past, we've been pushing the dues, but this year we changed it up a little bit, and we sort of gave them an incentive that if they brought their dues, they got a piece of candy. Now, I know, maybe we should start doing that with some adults. Maybe they start tithing more. I'm just kidding. But they would ask me every week, like, hey, don't forget about the candy. I felt bad sometimes going into their room because they'd be hard working. My mom and Miss Natalie being, working with them, and I'd walk in with that bucket of candy, and it's like, and everything would stop, and I felt so bad going in, but I had to make my rounds. So they worked really hard this year, and I'm very proud of them. Our next group is our second grade class. If they would come on up, this is Miss Leslie and Miss Kathy. And this group as well, I would walk in there and they would be working real hard, and they would get distracted by the candy thing. But it was a blessing because they were all about giving those dollars, which is really good.
After this year and the way he does it, I decided we're going to do Bible time before game time.
Yes.
Because he always came in, and do you know how awkward it is to teach when a man's coming in there with candy? It's like, okay, this is awkward. I want to say, I hate to talk like this. I know y'all think I don't in front of people, but I do so much better if we're out there in the hallway talking. So Kathy I help her. She volunteered to do all my talking. You know that's true, right, Brother Darrell? The first award I'm going to give is the Faithful Sunday School Attendance, and like Brother Derek already explained that. So Deborah Gibson, Isabel Moore, Eduardo Mateo, and we have one with perfect Master Club attendance, and that is Isabel. And then faithful attendance is Deborah Gibson, Eduardo, and Byron. And I want to say I had a couple of kids come in kind of toward the end also. And, sometimes they can't help their circumstances coming and not coming. But they chose in second grade to miss game time to catch up. And if it had not been for Miss Kathy helping taking those students aside and working just diligently with them to catch them up, and they were able to finish just about, only one of them did not completely finish their book. So I'm thankful for my helper this year. Megan Mays. All of these, they do different, hold on a second, man. They do the different badges. We're called the spotters, and they learn to be a good Samaritan. They learn all about David, how, he learned to trust God in all of his ages of life. They learn to be a good servant and a good soldier. And then they do a patriotic badge. It teaches them all about America, and they have to give their opinions about America, and it's very interesting. And then we have a Bible Institute thing that's got 7 stories about different, like Gideon and things like that they have to do. And then the above and beyond, really it's not required in the Master Club section. It's kind of a summer badge. But the kids all wanted to do it, and they did a wonderful job on it this time, so I'm thankful for that. So Megan Mays, Deborah Gibson. Deborah is one that sacrificed her game time to finish her stuff. Isabel Moore, Eduardo Mateo, and then Byron Gaspar. And this is the first, I think this is my 4th Master Club year, and this is the first year that all of my kids finished their whole book, and I was just so thankful that they were able to do that.
Good job. All right, if we would have our third graders coming up, that's Miss Bobby and Brother Matthew. They can come on up.
I had a pretty faithful class as well this year. We were able to earn the Jonathan Badge, Loving My Church, Romans Road, Jesus and Me and Bible Stories 1, 2, and 3. And a lot of verses they did memorize a lot. To start with, I want to give Thomas his perfect Sunday school attendance. Brooklyn, faithful Sunday school. Emily, faithful Sunday school. Isaiah, faithful Sunday school. Lucas, faithful Sunday school. Thomas has the perfect master club. Lucas, perfect master club. Isaiah, faithful master club. Emily, faithful master club. I think Emily only missed one. Brooklyn, faithful master club. Araceli, faithful master club. And as far as awards, Brooklyn earned all her badges this year. Maria earned her Jonathan, Jesus and Me, and Bible Stories 1. Isaiah earned Romans Road, Jesus and Me, Loving My Church, Bible Stories 1, 2, and 3. Araceli earned all her badges. Emily earned all her badges. Lucas has earned all his badges. And Thomas earned all his badges. They really worked hard this year, and I appreciate it. And I appreciate Matthew, too. He was my helper this year. And at the end of the year, I had a couple of kids questioning me about salvation. And they weren't ready at this time, but you guys be in prayer with me about seeing them saved soon.
Amen. Thank you, Ms. I do appreciate the faithfulness of Miss Bobby and Brother Matthew. Miss Bobby had contacted me earlier today and said she was not feeling very well, and I was just praying that she would be here tonight. So I know she's feeling a little under the weather, but I am thankful for all of our leaders and their faithfulness, and our kids as well. I know that it's an awards night, so we honor them for their accomplishments, but above all that stuff is their faithfulness to be here. And they're being rewarded with the greatest privilege ever, and that's hearing the gospel. And so that's exciting. So that's our primary group, our first grade, second grade, and third grade. And I'm looking forward to a lot of these guys moving up to our next department is our juniors department. So if Brother Alex will bring his group on up, our junior boys. This is the group that I actually started in several years ago when Brother Jason threw me into this, and I didn't know what I was doing. And I enjoy this class. I enjoy Brother Alex and Brother Stephen, Brother Nathan working with these guys. They're a good group of guys, and I'm going to turn it over to Brother Alex. This is our junior boys. This is our 4th, 5th, and 6th grade boys. Brother Alex.
I have to hold a microphone? Man. I told him to stand back.
Oh, did you? My fault.
He's, undermining my authority. I'm just kidding. Now, we had a good time this year. These kids, they're so much fun at this age. They can be, a little bit unnerving sometimes, but we really didn't have any trouble kids. You always have that one, that you don't really have quite a good relationship with, I guess. But these were really good kids. We didn't have anybody that was unruly or anything. They all did a really good job. I'll say one thing about them. They taught me some things. They taught me about faithfulness, about being faithful first of all, but then having faith in God. Because I remember, I don't know of one time when I would forget to do prayer requests or anything like that they didn't stop me and say, hey, we got to do prayer requests. And that told me something. That told me that they understood the power of prayer. And a lot of times we forget that as adults, but I'm glad that these kids learned that early, and I pray that they stay faithful to that. So I'm going to give them a few awards right quick. First, we have our perfect Sunday school attendance for Ben Johnson and Enrique Gonzalez. Then next we have a Perfect Master Club Attendance Award, and that goes to Ben Johnson. And we have our Faithful Master Club Attendance to Enrique Gonzalez, to Pedro Antonio as well. I think we had a couple more that earned that were not here. Hayden Bryant and Jeremiah Irvin, they're not here, but they did earn that. And then we also have a participation award for Samuel Diego. And then we always do something a little bit special for our sixth graders because this is their last year in Master Club, and we're oh yeah, I forgot about that. That's okay. Yeah, let me do that first before I do this. I need a silver one too. Thank you. Okay, and then we also this is what they're working towards is these crowns. There's 4 of them actually in the junior department, and they start bronze, silver, gold, and then they have a platinum crown as well. And then Enrique, he earned his bronze crown. So Enrique, come up here and get this for me. Proud of you, buddy. All right, and then Ben earned his bronze last year, so he earned his silver crown this year. So Ben, come up here. Good job, proud of you, buddy. Well, that was a strong handshake, I'll tell you that. And then our sixth graders, like I said, we like to do something a little bit special for them because this is their last year with us. But my mom actually made these plaques. I think they look really good. That's another Miss Kathy. There's like 13 Miss Kathys in this church. We got as many Kathys as we have Larrys in this church. But first we have Pedro. I don't know how many are there. There's like 20 of them there. He did a really good job. They're really faithful to earn all these. And then we also have Samuel. He's our other sixth grader. And we're sad to see him go, but we pray that they'll get up into Brother Jason's class and they'll learn even more, and hopefully they'll stay faithful then.
I'll explain a little bit about the crowns while they sit down. In the junior department, they have a book that they work through, and there's a book for each grade level. So there's a book for 4th grade, a book for 5th grade, a book for 6th grade, and then there's an extra book crown that they can earn, and that's the platinum crown. So the bronze crown goes with our 4th graders, the silver crown goes with the 5th graders, the gold goes with the 6th graders, and then if they want to do more and earn more badges, they can go for the platinum crown. And so that's what those crowns are, and those crowns will go back up on their place on the wall in their classroom, and then when they're 6th graders, they'll get all that stuff taken down off the wall, the badges and crowns that they earn, and they'll get to take that home with them when they finish out their junior boys' 6th grade year. All right, our last group I'd like to ask up here is our junior girls, our ladies, Miss Connie, Miss Kathy, and my wife, Miss Faith. If they'll bring their ladies on up.
Eternal life. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. For God sent not his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. John 3:15 through 17. Amen.
Okay, we have had a great year this year. We've had faithful girls. We've averaged around 18, and they're not all here tonight. So I wish they were all here, but we've had some very, very faithful girls. We've had a great year with these girls, and I've been very excited about it. I do the 4th grade girls, and Faith does the 5th grade girls, and Kathy does the 6th grade girls. So I'm going to go ahead and give the awards to the fourth grade girls. We have had faithful Sunday school attendance for Maria Mateo and Taylor White. And in my group, all three of the ones that are here tonight have perfect Master Club attendance. You don't know how proud I am of this. And that is Jennifer Pascal, Maria Mateo, and Taylor White. And they have a lot of badges that they have to earn. I won't go through all of them, but I do have two that completed all of their badges, completed their whole book, and that is Taylor White. She earned her bronze crown, and Maria Mateo earned her bronze crown.
In fifth grade, we averaged between 5 and 10 girls every Wednesday, and like she said, not many of them are here tonight, but a couple of them were very faithful, and one of those is Avery Washington. She had faithful Sunday school attendance, and she had faithful Master Club attendance. And then Jimena Freer also had faithful Master Club attendance. And then they're working towards a silver crown, and some of the badges that they have a chance to earn are ones where they're working on learning books of the Bible, and they also have to do acts of love to learn how to show God's love. And they also have to read about Jesus and his life and learn a little bit about what he did while he was here on earth. And we had one girl that achieved her silver crown, and that is Ivory Washington.
I too started out the year with quite a few more girls. We had about sixth graders maybe, and we ended up with 2, but they've been very sweet girls, and I've really been lucky to work with these girls. They like to giggle a lot. Excuse me. But Maria has faithful Master Club attendance. I think she has missed 2 this year, all year. And then we have Brianna Bonds. And I've known Brianna's dad actually played football with my boys, so it was really sweet to get to know her a little bit. And then Maria Wanton. They're both very sweet little girls, and I hope that they will be faithful to the youth group next year because they're really been a blessing to me.
All right, good. That ends the awards part of our time, but I want to close the awards time, turn it over to our pastor, by just thanking everyone who supported not only me but our teachers. I want to thank our teachers for their faithfulness in being here. I know that, all this work, all these plaques and all these picture frames and these certificates and all this stuff that goes into this night is all done by them. I don't do any of it. They do it all. They get all the stuff together. They help support the kids. They run it. So if it wasn't for them, none of this would happen. So I definitely want to thank them. I want to thank our pastor for giving us the opportunity to have this ministry, the church for giving us the ministry of Master Club. There are a couple of verses where Jesus talks about children, and one of them is in Matthew 18:3. It says, "Verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, you shall not enter the kingdom of heaven." And Jesus also talks about children in the next chapter in verse 4, where in verse 14, where he says, "Suffer the little children and forbid them not to come unto me, for such is the kingdom of heaven." So Jesus was all about kids coming to church and kids being around him. And I don't take it lightly, the ministry that God's given us for bringing these kids in, for our drivers who go out every Wednesday and Sunday to go out and pick up our kids. If it weren't for our van drivers, our bus drivers, our van workers, our bus workers, nobody would get faithful attendance. And that means a lot to me. I know it means a lot to them. So I'd like to thank our van drivers and our bus drivers and anyone else who helps make Master Club possible. Miss Janet for doing our orders. I want to thank her for doing those things. And last thing I'll say, and then I'll turn it over to our pastor. I am grateful, very much grateful for you being here tonight, supporting these kids, and modeling to them what it means to be faithful. I think I don't visit around a lot of churches. I believe in being here all the time as much as I can. But I will say that I think our people are some of the most faithful, loyal people to our church. And our kids see that. They see that. They see it a lot more than you think. That Brother Alex was talking about how his kids won't let him forget to pray every night. And they see a lot more than we think they do. And for us to be here in our place, being faithful, teaches them a valuable lesson about what it means to come to church. Because there are a lot of Christians say they go to church, but not a lot of people are faithful. And I appreciate our church family showing them what it means to be faithful and supporting them during Sunday School, Master Club, and those types of children's ministries. And I want to thank our pastor once again for allowing us to do this. And at this time, Pastor, I'll turn it over to you.